Hi everyone, I want to talk about the Firebird wizard and what I think will happen or should happen to it in the future. So we have seen this insane set rework and has completely dominated season 23. A lot of people came back to play Firebirds. It has created a lot of hype, and I was part of that. I also played Firebird's wizard early in the season. I was blasting that double Firebird meta, not running any red runs, not running any other XP meta, and it has been a blast. So it was really fun to play a wizard again. We also had this reworked teleport animation, which is amazing, and just in general it felt nice to play some strong wizard build again. But obviously I think a lot of people have realized that Firebird is also a bit over the top. It is definitely extremely strong, especially towards the low end of things, because you have 2 times 80% damage reduction already by default. So it's an incredibly tanky build. It is an incredibly consistent build because it doesn't rely on area damage. It has extreme elite killing and rift guarding killing abilities because it has a very tiny AoE, very focused damage. But it also has some other issues like the lags produced from certain interactions with that set. And just in general, we had the mirror images completely dominating the whole Firebird rework to the point where you needed to play mirror images or bust, and a lot of people are extremely frustrated with those as well. So it is extremely strong, but also creating these lags, especially in group play, and it also has the issue that you just can't control the damage very much sometimes. You can try to put the mirror images in the right spot at the right time, but usually they die very easily, or they just run away and don't do anything. I'm pretty sure that everyone who has played Firebirds knows exactly what I'm talking about. So being as strong as it is, I believe it comes as no surprise that Firebirds is most likely gonna get tuned down in the future. And while maybe some wizards enthusiasts will be outraged by this, I believe that this is almost guaranteed to happen. And I also believe that some other builds like Bone Spear or Heaven's Fury or even Twister will also get tuned down a little bit. Twister is actually better than Firebirds for high-end pushing. So we have seen that pop up a while ago already on NA, and it's basically the same build from last season. Twister with Shimizu and Archon. It's an extremely high-end build, extremely difficult to gear. You need high paragons to even be able to play that properly. And it also is extremely fishy, extremely RNG dependent, but it has the potential to beat Firebirds because Firebirds can't really push that much. So all you can get is like some decent rift, and then you need like really good pylons, and yeah, maybe some elites that don't kill mirror images all the time. And that's about the extent of fishing for Firebirds. A little bit exaggerated. So you don't have this density scaling. You don't really benefit much from making these large pulls, most other builds. And right now, it just is too easy, in my opinion, to kind of like go quite high, but then it hits a wall really hard. So this is how Firebirds works, but it's okay to have builds like that as well. We also have, for example, Impale that works quite similar to this, or Frenzy Barb that works quite similar to this. So it's fine to not have every build be completely like, RNG dependent and like fishy and just heavy AoE builds. So this is okay. The main issue that I have with the build is that it's relying on those mirror images. I really like mirror images actually. I like that they're used for like the first time ever, pretty much, unless like there's something way back. And they have never really been part of like a build recently, at least. And they're fun to play with. But with the Flame Blades specifically, they are not really great. They tend to either die very easily or they run away. And relying on your mirror images alone just to deal any kind of damage doesn't really feel great to me. When I tried the Firebirds wizard for the first time on the PTR, it was around flame blading yourself. You were attacking really fast, you were stacking attack speed, you had the Fragment of Destiny, you had the Shame of Desire, 4 attacks per second, and you were blasting. And that was really fun. So you ran around, you ignited stuff, and then you flame bladed everything to death. And there was also this reverse Archon double wizard meta as like a XP meta, which, well, we didn't get to play actually because mirror images were dominating. The thing is that this manual flame blade meta is actually not too far behind the mirror image meta. so that you would maybe lose 5 tiers or something like that, so around half the overall DPS if you go for this, but you have full control over your damage, you have like a much more impactful playstyle, and it would also allow wizards to just be a bit more consistent when you fight, big packs, or when you fight certain elites that right now are just killing mirror images. So personally, under the assumption that a nerf is coming to Firebirds, almost guaranteed, I believe that probably the best way is to just make mirror images not interact with the 6-piece bonus anymore. And we kind of get like a new variety of Firebird builds for another season, and it would also tune it down by a few tiers. I don't know exactly, but it should be around 3 to 5 tiers range, where you can do the manual flame blades. I can do even some other manual skills like twisters, like meteor showers, like electrocute even. So there's a lot of variations that I can play, especially for speed farming, that also work quite well. And I think a lot of people have really become fed up with those mirror images and being so inconsistent. At least I know I have. I did enjoy the Firebirds, definitely. I think to bring mirror images back in the future, there's definitely opportunity for that. So we could have some maybe new set in the future, or some other rework or something like that revolves more around mirror images. There could be some kind of like supporting skills for mirror images, where maybe they buff you up when you have them summoned, or when they hit something with your spells, you deal more damage with that spell to the enemy, or something like that. My personal favorite for something like that would be Arcane Orb Scourge, because this is actually a build or a skill that works extremely well with mirror images. They run around, they throw fireballs everywhere, it looks amazing, and I don't know, I would just like to see some mirror image stuff happening with those Arcane Orbs. This is just some idea for the future, we'll see what will actually happen. I think that the build could be much more fun without mirror images, because right now it's like this very heavy channeling based playstyle with little control over what's going on. And I think this is also pretty much exactly what Blizzard wanted to avoid when they made this. I think they specifically didn't want this Death Wish to happen, because Death Wish is very universally disliked, I believe. There are definitely, there's a reason to play channeling builds, but I think that if there's ever going to be some channeling builds similar to this with Death Wish and Edge Digital and these kind of things, it should be like a bit more focused on the actual channeling skill, and not just be kind of like the trigger for some big damage buff. So maybe Death Wish could be made into some like disintegrate item, or arcane torrent item, or maybe even ray of frost item, some kind of like specifically designed channeling build for that, and not just be in some kind of like trigger for more damage while your mirror images do all the work. And also for the future, I guess there's a lot of potential to rework some other wizard stuff. So for example, Tarasha, while it is basically the only viable Frozen Orb build right now, we have no Meteor builds whatsoever, and I would probably shift things around a little bit to make like Tarasha some really insanely cool Meteor set in the future. There are definitely some really cool ideas that I will present at another point, but right now Wizard is in a good state with Firebirds, and I don't think it's gonna see a lot of reworks anytime soon, because we have Twister, we have Firebirds, and like this Tarasha rework, or maybe DMO rework even, this is another story for another day, I guess, when Wizard has been kind of like stale for a while. Right now it's still fresh, so this is fine, and we need to focus much more on other classes, Witch Doctor and Monk. So I'm pretty sure that those will see some love quite soon, because they're not really useful for anything, and well, we can see about Wizards in the future, I guess. Personally, I'd really enjoy to play some Meteor as well. I think it's like one of those like core Wizard skills that should definitely be included as part of like the meta Wizard builds. But again, we'll see that at another time, I guess. So for now, this is what I wanted to share here. Let me know what you think, and if you have some iron ideas, if you have your own feedback, let me know how you like the mirror images yourself. Maybe you really enjoy them, or maybe you really hate them. So yeah, this is just my opinion, and to kind of like keep things like in balance, it's probably the change that would make the most sense to me, at least. So hope you enjoyed my video here, and I'll see you guys next time.